Hello and welcome to Teacher Assistant Training 1. I'll be an instructor for this class, and in case you didn't get a chance to see some of this the last time we had class start, I have been an adjunct faculty member with the community college system since 2017. That's a fancy word for part-time. And then I also work full-time as the program coordinator for Frankie Lemon School, which is in Raleigh. I have a bachelor's in child development and a master's in special education with birth through kindergarten and K-12 teaching licenses. And in my professional experience, I've worked with lots of families and teachers and children and administrators for the past 17 years. I was a classroom teacher for preschoolers once upon a time. And then in my personal life, I have 3 boys. So, all about this course. This is your final step in your journey towards becoming a highly qualified teacher's assistant. So, the goal of this course is really to expand on the core concepts of working with students, supporting teachers, managing a classroom, and just further building your skills as an educator. So, the first class was really foundational and just kind of getting started. And this course delves into more important topics that I think a lot of you are more interested in. So, hopefully, you will enjoy it. And then just to keep in mind, in the world of education, it's a lot of the things we do are about community and the connection to our colleagues and the families that we serve. So now that you've had a chance to kind of get to know some of the people in the class, just continue building those relationships with through collaboration. You really never know when you'll run into somebody. And it's also just great to make the class more interesting. And then at the end of the class, we get to see your professional portfolio with everything that you've been working on. So we are going to be in a hybrid course again. So it is asynchronous, meaning you work online when it works best for your schedule. And then there are the few dates that we will meet on campus. So please make sure you download the syllabus in Blackboard. This will provide you with the course schedule, which has all the dates for everything in the class. I know the last class was a little chaotic with the weather and everything. And so a lot of people missed this piece. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware that that's where you can find that. And then we are covering 48 content hours in 8 weeks. So please plan to spend at least 6 hours a week just to complete assignments and do the work online. And then you might need a couple of extra hours for other projects and activities. And then all of your coursework does need to be submitted through Blackboard, with the exception of the work keys testing, which we do on campus. The student learning outcomes for this class are to establish rapport with students and differentiate support according to individual needs so that you can facilitate instructional activities under the supervision of a teacher, to learn about managing student behavior while providing supervision in collaboration with your classroom teacher, demonstrating safe work practices and being able to respond to emergencies, providing medical support to students as required and permitted, and then also demonstrating those workplace skills with reading and comprehending graphic materials to solve work-related problems. Attendance is big in online courses especially, so just make sure you are submitting your discussion board each week. That does count as your weekly attendance online, and you're allowed 1 absence for the class. So for any reason you need to miss class 1 time, that's okay. Just try to keep up with the work as we go. It does get to be tricky as we move towards spring. Things seem to speed up. And then just make sure too, all of your assignments get submitted in Blackboard. And the big thing with getting started is that you complete the enrollment verification quiz no later than March 21st. But if you can get on the computer on Wednesday, the 19th, that would be best so that we can make sure everybody gets that and is ready to go for the class. And then our weeks do run from Wednesdays to Tuesday. So every week on Wednesday, a new week starts, and you have until the following Tuesday to turn in all your assignments. And again, the course schedule will give you all those dates. And then for completing assignments, I just have a note here. The AI technology has gotten to be fairly pervasive, and so a lot of people are using AI, which I think it's an amazing tool, and I use it sometimes in my own work, but especially when you're taking a class because you're still learning, I, as a teacher, am more interested in what you know versus what you can get AI to tell you or what you find in an online search. It's really hard for me to assess what you are learning and what you're capable of doing when you're using AI. So know that I appreciate the way that technology operates and that AI is amazing. And you are welcome to use it, but you have to be able to cite it and make sure that it's accurate. Sometimes AI comes back with stuff that really doesn't make any sense. And if you're not paying attention or not as familiar with the content, that might be hard to catch. So just make sure you try to check your work, but also use your own ideas. And then, of course, provide citations for any sources that you do use. So if I do think that your work is coming straight from AI with no contribution on your part, or it's not properly cited, you will get a 0 on the assignment. And I will, of course, provide an opportunity for you to redo it. But just know going in, I would much rather hear from you than the computer. All right, so for submitting assignments, please make sure you follow the instructions that are provided. And these are all posted in Blackboard so that you can see them more easily than just this slide. But discussion boards should be typed directly into the thread. So instead of attaching things, please make sure you're putting them in the thread. And then for journal assignments, again, directly into the journal. So you can type in a Word document or Google Doc or however you do it, just copy and paste them into those two. So it's easier for people to read and look at. And then written assignments, you can attach a document if you need to. And then your portfolio, you can create either digitally, and there's some ideas for different sources you can use to create that, or you can make a 3-ring notebook with dividers. So it's really your choice, just as long as you're able to collect all of the pieces from PTA and TA1 and then can present them at the end of the class. Later missing work. So really anything that's handwritten or files I can't open, or if it's coming through blank, I will try to let you know in the notes in grades so that you have a chance to resubmit it. And then know too, you can submit work late. In this class, I really am more interested in you doing the assignment than the timeline that it gets done, as long as it's within the class before it ends. So you might see a 0 in your grades if you didn't submit something, but once you turn it in and I have a chance to grade it, you'll get a grade for that. And then just keep in mind too, there's lots of resources available to you. The big ones are the syllabus, it's just all the different policies and things about the class, the course schedule, which will help you keep track of dates and assignments when they're due, the announcements, and the weekly module content posted in Blackboard. And then you also have access to the college resources. So the tech support, Blackboard help, library, tutors, and the library can help with the citations piece if that's something that's new for you. And then for grading and feedback, the discussion board, again, is used to calculate attendance for online work. So there's one every week, and then there's a journal every week, and then those are the big assignments for this class. So you'll be doing a classroom management plan, a teacher interview and reflection essay, recognizing and responding to child maltreatment training. And if, for those of you who work in childcare, it is the same one you do for childcare. So if you already have it, that's great. You'll just upload a copy of it. And then the CPR classes. And if you already have CPR certification, you can turn that in. And like we've mentioned before, the professional portfolio will need to be ready at the end of this class. So I do my best to grade all the assignments within 2 weeks of you submitting them by the due date. So please just check in my grades, read any of the notes I leave behind, and then you can update things as needed. And I also try to comment on discussion boards and in journals, but you're always welcome to email me and or we can set up a time to meet if you have questions or need some help with an assignment. And then contacting me. So I am here to help you and want you to succeed. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. But please keep in mind when you email an instructor, it's really helpful if you are professional and follow some netiquette, which is like online etiquette. So sending email from your college email account, including a subject line with the course name, including a greeting, and then fully explaining what's going on. And if screenshots are helpful, you can include those. And that really just makes it easier for me to know exactly what you're talking about, and so I can respond more quickly. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I am a part-time instructor and I do work full-time and have a family that I take care of. So as much as your message is important to me, I might not be able to respond immediately, but I will always respond within 2 business days. I try to respond sooner, but sometimes I just need a minute to catch up. So I look forward to working with you during this class.